Kim will lead us in our invocation.
Our Father who art in heaven, we bow our heads as a group and as a family in thy community. May the good work we do continue to inspire the people in our community and to help those that are in need. May we find peace and comfort this day and knowing that this food will not partake of. There's a blessing from you and mercy and strength in our bodies. As we thank you for all you have blessed us with, especially each other. In Jesus' name, amen.
And the flag salute. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Margie, the song. My country, 'tis the sweet land of liberty, of the icy land where my fathers lie, and of thy pilgrims cry, from every mountainside, let freedom bring.
Okay, Marty, you and I, we're doing a duet. How old do we have in this club? We just sang happy birthday to the United States. Oh, that was
Okay, Steve.
Thank you, President Lloyd. It's the first of the month, and traditionally in Pioneer Lions, you are required to wear a piece of clothing that represents Pioneer Lions. And if not, hold tight. If not, it's going to cost you a quarter. Okay? To begin with, let's have some happy dollars. We've got Dwayne here. Oh, it looks like Dwayne needs a, no, he's got a hat. It's a lion hat. And a jacket. Okay, you're safe. Dwayne?
President Lloyd, call lines and guests, if you have any. I have some unhappy and some happy news. The unhappy news is a couple of big trees in my backyard blew over. Good news is that I got the old chainsaw out and whacked them all up.
Katie.
Put them out there in the front driveway, got on Facebook Marketplace and listed them for free. Next day, all the trucks are gone. The other good news is I'm going to take off and go on a cruise for a couple of weeks.
Okay, anybody else back here? Line Bob.
King Mike Lloyd, all the lines and guests. I got one $100 because Gail and I are going to leave Friday and we'll be gone for 3 weeks. We're Cancun. We're going through over and back to Hawaii.
Right.
Sounds like fun. All right, moving right along. Allison, you've got a spare dollar, but I think it's for a fine, isn't it?
We were
Your
kids,
penalty.
running up and down the
Why don't we just make it
car.
a dollar because we don't
Going on
have
the
changes.
ocean. Yeah, now it's
Ryan is contributing as
on a
well.
boat.
With that, we're going to allow you to say a happy thing about the new year, okay? Allison, you're first.
President Lloyd, co-lines and guests, I suppose it's a happy slash kind of sad to turn to happy thing. So my train got canceled to Montana, but happy because it was 40 degrees below zero over there, and I don't think I would have enjoyed that either. So happy.
Ryan?
Oh, there it is. President Lloyd, co-lines and guests. Happy buck. So I was minding my own yesterday, having an awesome Monday off, and my wife informs me that we're taking our time next month. They are 4 and 2.
Was your mouth agape?
Past district governor and the love of my life, Marilyn.
President Lloyd, fellow Lions and guests. This is an anticipation happy dollar. When Steve and I were heading here to club today, I mentioned it's only a week away that we get to go to the beach and celebrate our anniversary, which happens in December. And he says, yep, I'm already packed. And I said, so am I. I think it'd take me 2 minutes. I'm ready to go. So anyway, next week we'll be announcing that we're escaping after club. I'm going to give this to a happy buck for Ryan because Toontown is a great place to go and you will even love it.
Let's all sing. It's a small world after all.
Let's don't say we did. John, you're succumbing.
We're gonna do that, but that's.
No happy, sad bucks today. Poor guy. Well, Nick, he's got some cash, so, Lion Nick.
President Lloyd, fellow Lions and guests, I've got $5. Some are happy, some are sad. One's sad because as a penalty, I don't have any Lions gear on. Just kind of thinking about Dan Twist and Jim Reineke today, so a couple dollars their way. And a couple dollars for Walton Marie Speck, who I saw their car slid into the ditch on Mount Meridian on that real icy day. I'm happy you guys are okay, everything's fine. I did the same thing with my brother in high school on that same exact turn. So I know what they're going through.
Lion Terry.
Yeah, that's that deal that you were talking about last week. King Lion, Lloyd, fellow Lions, and yes, I have a happy dollar for about a month. I didn't golf because of other things, health-wise and weather and stuff. But the last 2 days I've gone out and played. I was better off not playing.
When your score was lower by not playing?
Preparing for the tournament. Okay, Lion Cindy.
President Lloyd, fellow Lions and guests, I have $5. One, I've been cooking up a storm for some ungodly reason. Sandy Conray, as some of you may know, asked me when I was going to get my Michelin star, which I have no idea what that means. I just like to cook, and Jim likes to cook with me. The second one is I'm leading up to buying, I know I'm trying to think of what I want to say. Lion Keith is celebrating his 14th year as a Lion this year, and I've got background for you newer members. Back in the day, we would go to our MD conventions. The first one I went to, because Jim's a member, but he's not active, as you all know, but I would take rides to conventions with different people. The first one was with Lion Darrell, and that forged a friendship that lasted forever. And then the same thing happened with Lion Keith. He and I went to Yakima together, and you don't, when you're riding together, you don't play the radio, you talk, and you converse. Then we bring our spouses into the picture, and now we're besties. And so that's leading up to Lion Keith's happy $14 for being a Lion for 14 years. He and I both had no idea we'd been friends for that long.
Lion Larry has Lion Larry.
King Lion, Lloyd, fellow Lions and guests. I've got a happy to have $10 there. I'm happy because both my eyes are working great now following cataract surgery. I don't have to buy almost glasses anymore. The rest is sad dollars just because the memory of my brother passed away in 2014 was January.
Uncle Milty. Okay, we have we have 2 Lions of the month. Actually,
You started Jackie.
it's
President Lloyd, fellow Lions and guests, here's the fine dollar for Marie and I. Here's a happy $5. Yes, we did put the Explorer into the ditch. Well, I did. I put the Explorer into the ditch, coming down the upper part of Mount Meridian Road. I was very fortunate because in a moment of decision, Marie's the one that rode the side of the car that got all the damage, but neither one of us were hurt.
Mr. Governor, Lion Mike.
Here's a fine for Pat. You know, there have been times in my life, I mean, King Lion Lloyd, don't mind again. There have been times in my life when I've been real scared. A high-speed auto accident on the Autobahn in Germany comes to mind. But I was never as scared as I was last Wednesday night when Pat came out in the living room and passed out. Ambulance to the hospital, of course. All the tests proved she was very, very healthy, except she was dehydrated. But I'd like to thank Ken Bottero and his son Lee. Lee lives down the street from us, and he was at our house about 30 seconds after the ambulance, telling us to think good thoughts. He in turn told Ken, which I'm glad he did, who in turn told Greg. I'd like to thank Greg for showing some concern. Also Ron Stopper, also Mike Taylor, our neighbor, who is going to be a new Lion. They've all been very supportive, but she's doing good now.
Lion Jim.
That's $5, and I spent that amount of money to make me be able to remember what I was going to say. But fellow Lions and President Lloyd, and everybody else, what the hell do I care? This is probably going to be my last meeting. We're moving over to the Canterbury. They're putting me in solitary confinement, so but I'll be trying to come back once in a while. But I just want to say that I appreciate this club and all the members here. It's been a great experience. I'll miss the group. I may be able to crawl back once in a while. But anyway. Wait for rides? Yes. Arrange for a ride. Okay, are you available a week from? I consider that to be a volunteer or offer to bring me each month, each week.
I won't take you back.
Yeah, if you think I'm going to get a car with you, you're crazy. Anyway, thank you all.
That sounded like a goodbye. Lion Patrick.
Well, President Lloyd, fellow Lions and guests, it's been a fun week. It really has. There's for not wearing the right clothes. Let's see, second happy buck is going to be, I'm wearing clothes. You should all get happy bucks for that, believe me. No, I'm not even going to make a joke about that. That would be bad, because I love myself. There's one. Every flood starts with a tear, right, Greg? All the kids made it through New Year's safely. Two of them sequestered up in a castle up in Port Ludlow, and the other one did the smart thing and just drank it home. And let's see, then we had our fun, and the end of the week was making sure that I got all these invoices out, and so all of the invoices are printed. People have paid. I've got those receipts here. Anybody Anybody else ask me about when the cards are gonna be ready, I'm gonna start saying, oh, maybe July, if you can ask me.
No, Richie will do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Where are you, Richie?
She's hiding already. The long and the short of it is that, Terry, the hour a week. Got it, Lee. Right on. Thanks, guys.
That was back when it was the second grade treasurer.
Flying Greg.
President Lloyd, Bill Lines, yes, a couple bucks today. The first one was a happy buck. Made it through the new year, because it had shortly after 10 o'clock on New Year's Eve. The other one's a sad buck. Kind of out of order. This has to do with sickness. My neighbor, Dan Twist, who a lot of you don't know, but a lot of you do, his wife passed away. And Dan was talking about coming today, but he decided maybe not today, maybe next week. Anyway, Dan took care of Karen for a good 3 years on a daily basis. And anyway, she went peacefully. And anyway, Dan's a great neighbor, great friend, and when he does come back, everybody pat him on the back. He's a great guy, and he'll get back into the club, do stuff.
Well,
Oh, and one more thing, while I got the floor. Somebody lost a pin. This is quite a pin. This is a Lions Foundation pin. It was broken off of somebody's
The LCIF pin?
well, it says foundation on it.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with this pin. But it's a pin that broke off.
And it happened right today because it wasn't here when I got
Right
here.
here. Oh.
there it is. Mystery solved. Flying Mike, is that for us? All right. We're coming your way, buddy. Flying Mike.
King Lion Lloyd, fellow lions and guests, got a couple of happy dollars here today. One was for having such a wonderful wife, because when we had all that windstorm and everything else pouring down rain, our neighbor had part of her fence blow over, and I tried to, she had a piece of plywood, and I went to try to put it up, and there was no way. And so I went and got my wonderful wife, and she drew on her coat, and the pouring rain and everything, we were able to get a piece of plywood put up and nailed up so that the rest of her fence didn't blow down. So she's a real trooper, and I'm glad to have her as a wife, most of the time. Yeah, that's why she's special. And the other one was my daughter and her family went to Hawaii for a week, and we ended up taking care of their dog, a 3-year-old golden lab, the dumbest dog I've ever known in my life. But the happy buck is that they came back and took the dog with them.
Air conditioning, so it's a little bit nicer. Yeah, not near this sweat.
All right. When did you sneak in, Rex? Hey, that table, let's start with Lion Cheryl.
This is my bad girl dollar.
Oh, bad girl dollar,
Now, where
okay.
do I close? And I'll pay attention to the calendar a little bit better.
That's it. Bad girl dollar, didn't wear my colors.
Good, good. Ken? Nothing? All right, here we go. Secretary and past council chair, Hal.
Thank you. This is the finest group of tail twisters we've seen in weeks. Well, since last week, right?
All year.
President Lloyd, fellow lions and guests. My Lions logo goes on my big jacket there. It doesn't say Pioneer, but it does have a Lions logo. Okay. The first is an interesting dollar. I see Lion Brian and, oh shoot, I remembered your name a minute ago. I see our 2 Edward Jones people here. The third Edward Jones got Nick. Yeah, Nick. I practiced this, Nick, just so you know. But I don't see our third one. The two of you got to gang up on Ron Horn and get him here, okay? It's a good idea. The second dollar is, I feel really sorry for my grandson. On Tuesday morning, he was supposed to get on an airplane to fly to Buffalo. Anybody see the pictures of Buffalo? He made it out Friday afternoon about 3. And then the final dollar is, I am the suckiest acting secretary this club has ever had. Because,
Here.
and this is for Brenda. I had to handwrite her badge today to get here, but next week you're going to have a real red badge. Let me see, I forgot the list to pass around. And Leroy, you best be learning fast, because there's going to be more mistakes to be made.
Leroy can make his own.
Okay, take it away, Lloyd.
All right.
All right, Mark is still on the road, so Ken will have our guest speaker today.
You can applaud anytime you want. You are all very fortunate and very blessed today. Our guest speaker, for some reason, has not showed up yet. I don't think he will be here, but he had a great presentation to explain what the Hope Village is all about. The social media has not done justice to a lot of the things that have taken place lately. And so he would have possibly we're going to have one in the future when we're talking and explaining what the Home Village is and how it works. So with that, I have had the privilege for the past couple of weeks and maybe a couple of months to talk and to sit and think about what's going on with some of the things that Marty and I are involved with. And I look back at a 100-year celebration for the Longview Pioneer Alliance. And the history of the Pioneer Alliance goes way back, even when we had the road that we built up out of Cathlamet. I can't remember the name of the road, the pass.
Ocean Beach Highway.
Yeah, that pass.
State Route 4.
Yes. Goes over the mountain anyhow. The Pioneer Alliance were a very strong part of that. They did a terrific job with doing things in the community. And over that 100 years, we're going to be celebrating shortly all the pleasure and excitement that we as Lions provided. And I look back and I'm fortunate I haven't been a member since 100 years of all the excitement and joy we've had since I've been a member. I look back when I first joined the member and some little short guy come walking up to me and says, "We want you to be a member, and it's only an hour a week." Steve Patterson still hasn't grown, and he still hasn't given me that 1 hour a week. But we look back at all the things and all the beautiful things and the changes we've made in our club. We have our ups and downs, we have our positives, and we have our negatives. But if you look at all the things we've done, all the efforts we put into making this a good and better community, and how we work with each other to get things done. How many of you, by show of hands, have ever worked the kids' race over at the lake in front of our lawn park? What a terrific thrill and excitement that was. I remember the first time that Marty and I worked it. John Claypool was chairman of it, and you had never seen a community have as much fun as they had with those kids and with the egg tosses. The only thing I was concerned with about the egg toss at the end is somebody had told me that John and his family had hard-boiled one of the eggs. So it went all the way through and it never broke. But with that, we look at all the things we've done. Look at all the work that this club has done at Lake Sacagawea for the 4th of July celebrations. Look at the camaraderie they brought together. It was fantastic. beer garden that we used. And how many of you can remember the beer garden being in the parking lot? Only Terry?
Yeah.
But the thing that we take and look at the most and we should be very proud of is what we do as Lions in our community and what we do for each other. We have our ups and downs, we have our good times, we have our bad times, but you know what? The Pioneer Lions are still number one in the community that we live in. We had an open heart for the things that take place. Stop and think about all that we've done. Look at the beautiful program we have for the grade schools, in the reading program, and in the psych program, and the hearing program for the youth. A lot of those kids never get those opportunities that you provide for them. Look at all the people that this club has helped gain hearing aids and sight, eyeglasses for sight and hearing. We have done terrific things and will continue to do terrific things. There will always be change, but what's nice about it, it's changed for the better. This club has grown so much since I've become a member. And all the positive and beautiful things you guys have done to make this a great community. And this community and all of us should be proud of each other. And thank you for all that you put in to make this a positive experience for us and our community. With that, I hate to break the sad news to you, but now we're going to let Hal Palmer speak for a little bit.
Oh. You know what, Ken? We both can almost see over these flags, can't we? President Lloyd, fellow Lions and guests, I want to start out with two parts of our Lions Codes of Ethics. And as I read these and look out there, I do believe I am preaching to the choir at this point. Whenever a doubt arises as to the right or ethics of my position or action towards others, to resolve such doubt against myself. Now that particular one I have found over the years to be very helpful to myself because it's really easy for me to get mad at Ken Botero. Does he vote? He took when he was on the city council? But all I have to do is think then, oh yeah, I took a mess of lousy votes as well. Yes, I voted for a tax increase. I'm sorry. But when the state of Washington gives you no choice, but if you want to keep your water and sewer system going, you got to vote for a tax increase. It's just the way it is. So in what has occurred in the past, if more of that had happened, I think we would not be where we are right now. And finally, the very last one, to be careful with my criticism and liberal with my praise, to build up and not destroy. Now, just so you know, when you guys pick on me or my brother, we don't call that destroying. We call that building up, right, Pat?
Call that fuel, baby.
Fuel, baby, right.
Fuel.
And as I look back at what many of you saw at the one meeting, that's where we are. We need to build up and not destroy. And in line with that, on January 14th, President Lloyd asked past District Governor Mark Banzel to facilitate a club session for the Longview Pioneer Lions. The focus will be on the value of being a Lion as well as service, fellowship, and learning. He encourages Lions to think about the positive service that they have learned or accomplished as well as those items that have been a positive influence in their life. I can think back to a day in a chuck wagon where there were no customers. Greg maybe remembers the bull riding competition.
Yeah, on the fly fishing.
Yeah, which basically in the chuck wagon, it was a committee meeting of 4 where we talked, we got to know each other, we got to understand each other and see where their background was and their and where they were coming from. So if you ever, as new members, if you get an opportunity when there's nothing going on, talk to that lion next to you to find out about them. It's just an amazing opportunity. One of the big experiences, I feel that it's been a positive influence in my life because it caused me to know some people better. Trying to think of another one, another positive. Anybody here want to share a situation where you had a positive influence? Oh my God. Is there anybody on the left side of the room? Okay, brother, what you got?
So, many of you may remember this, but about 100 pounds ago, I used to do a little bit of basketball refereeing. And of course, once you're in a referees association, you know all the baseball guys, you know all the football guys. Well, 25 years ago, I had the great opportunity to meet Jim and Irma Kemp. Jim Kemp was an educator, and he was a football official. He was one of the very first football officials in the state of Washington to actually be nominated and accepted to the Washington State Interscholastic High School
Association
for football refs.
Yep.
While he was alive.
Yes.
He then got 3 more honorable mentions later throughout his football career. But it would be great to be going to different schools locally here. And somebody would make a comment. And all I had to do was say, oh yeah, Jim Kemp's a good friend of mine. And he'd be like, seriously? You met him? Yeah. It's that kind of coolness that just makes the Lions experience so great.
Yeah. Boy, that reminded me. I was at District Governor-elect school, and right across from me was my twin governor. He was from Poland. And he says, oh, you're from the United States. That's the young country with old lions. And he says, I'm from the old country with young lions. Which is pretty much accurate. So Cindy, did you have your hand up? Is there a microphone coming her way, maybe?
There's one right there in that bucket.
So the tail twisters gave up? Is that what we're hearing? Oh.
We're just out of practice. It's been many, many years since I've been tail twisting. President Lloyd all lines again. As I alluded to earlier, I went to conferences with Daryl McDaniel and with Keith Huff. And like I said, you don't listen to music, you talk one-on-one. And I jokingly said, and I still believe it to this day, where else is a fire chief going to hang out with a plumber with an IT guy?
Yeah.
Nowhere except for Lions.
That's
And
right.
We all became the best friends. In fact, we're going back down to Texas in May. When you have the ability to chat, this is why I move around to different tables. You get to know somebody, you get to know their interests. We have our ladies meeting, and somebody wants me to, I'm like, yes, let's do it. So there is nothing, you have to put one foot forward.
Yes. Anybody else out there want to share? Okay, so just so you know, I sent an email out to the board of directors on a suggestion on how to handle the audit question, in case some of you are wondering. Does anybody know how many types of audits there are?
28.
Okay, 28 from Greg. He's probably closer than most. There's 11 different types of audit, just so you know that. Typically, when we review the financial statements at the board meeting, it is a financial audit by looking at it, because what we are provided with at every board meeting is a list of all checks written and income coming in, which basically is what we want to know. The next type of an audit is a year-end audit, which typically in this club has been done by 1 or 2 members of the finance committee. Currently, the finance committee is Greg and I and maybe and Pat at the moment. So I've sent a proposal, and who else?
PDG Maryland.
Oh, Maryland, that's right, Maryland wants to be on it. And as I sent that out, Cheryl asked a very important question. Well, who appoints those and when? Well, the incoming president does, when they come in, and they do it by approving the sign-up sheet for committees that come around to each one of you. And so it's a very simple process. I've proposed just a 3-member committee, and the 3-member committee would not include the treasurer. And here's why. The 3 auditors would look at what the treasurer did and say, yeah, no. You still have to meet with, you still have to meet with the treasurer, of course, but it just seemed like a way to go. So what we're looking at is putting that into a policy at our next board meeting, I hope, and there's some good discussion on that. Any questions or comments from the group? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Am I done? All right. Thank you very much.
Glad it's because you're done, Hal.
Okay, Terry has an announcement.
So what was your score?
Cost me a lot of money. Line Lloyd, Lines Jess, I've got an update on Jim Reinke. I called Eileen just before the meeting, and she thinks that he's probably had a minor stroke. He knows some things, and that's sort of like Jim all the time.
That's right.
Jim thought he knew everything, I think, instead of just something. But at any rate, he's
Gotta hit it harder.
Is there a green button?
He's, who knows what's going on. She tried to talk to the doctor this morning. He couldn't come in, which is normal for the hospital, I suppose. Waiting to hear from him what their diagnosis is going to be. So it's fairly sort of up in the air still. May have to go to somewhere to learn how to function better off. But that, like I say, it's still in the air. If you get a chance to give him a call, he's still in the hospital. I don't know if he said yes or not. I don't know if he remembers it. He remembers Eileen, she says. But, at any rate, it's not a real happy situation. So if you have a chance to keep Eileen in your prayers, you need to.
Greg.
President Lloyd, Phil Lines and guests, membership. I've got membership apps with me today, anybody that needs them to see me. I was going to make another announcement, but I'm going to yield it to Rex. He's here today. President Lloyd, Phil Lines and guests, we have a work party tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in Lions Island. We're going to bring all the lights down and all the stuff back to the job. And we'll have probably one more next week.
Okay, Pat.
President Lloyd, fellow Lions and guests, as you might have already seen or heard, I've been passing around invoices for membership. Thank you all for being here and accepting them. I think that you saved the club about $25 in stamps. So that means I got to go buy $100 worth of stamps and mail out the rest of them. And hopefully those will start coming in. Those of you that have that invoice, you can just write pay on it when you pay me. And then you have a receipt. And long story short, it works out real well. As I get a little bit closer to, I'm going to build an Excel spreadsheet with names, because you're going to send me that list.
Again?
You're going to send it to me?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't I suck? Really, don't I?
The correct one? Yes.
Oh, I don't care if it's correct or not, I just want the one with the names on it. And then I'll make
You want addresses too, don't you?
No, I just want names. I've gone through my site and put all new names and addresses in the previous list as a hard copy, but I need it. So then I can go ahead and do mail merge and print out your cards that you membership card. There we go. Yeah, what came across last week when Greg had a straight thing, he says, hey, why don't we extend the $10 off because Pat is so stupid.
I didn't quite say
He
that.
didn't quite say it that way, I said it that way.
But that was the net effect.
That was basically what needed to happen. I said, so, great. And you know what? In my mind, I said to myself, what? For everybody that pays in January, maybe I'll just kick in the $10. Well, let the Eagles make that not happen. So, you're on your own. We're gonna honor that for the month of January, that same $10 off, so you see that you got $90 if you're an individual, $165 if you're a couple. We have 22 families that are family members. So that was kind of fun to see. Yeah. See what we paid for. If there's anything else that you would require from me as your treasurer, ask nicely and I'll see what I can do. And Lloyd, I think we want to remind you to announce the board meeting coming up.
Right.
Okay? All right.
Yeah, I should have put that on there, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bob will need help after the meeting, move the tables around and chairs around.
Is your microphone dead too?
Oh, yeah, lights on.
Way to go, Bob.
Bob, you have a new guest. You have any guests back there, Bob?
President Lloyd, fellow ladies and guests, I'd like to introduce our newest member, Tula CR.
It is close to Seahawk. I'll name my first child Seattle.
Good plan.
See me on the news later.
Then on January 12th at 6 o'clock, we have the past president meeting here at the Eagles here. January 12th at 6 o'clock at night here at the Eagles.
Would that be the same day as the board meeting at 8 a.m.?
Right.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know what you people are thinking.
I don't need it. Let's see. That's about it on announcements. We'll do tickets.
Well, wait a minute, we do have senility.
What?
What? Can you believe that?
Okay.
President Lloyd Lions.
Wait a minute.
Ann's got something first, okay. Carrie Ann, you're not one of them. Oh, my goodness, a criminal.
She was here.
What?
Sunshine.
Sunshine report.
Use your outside voice.
Your mom voice.
Okay.
Are they going around or are they there? Okay. I missed them.
I missed it.
Hey, President
Okay.
Lloyd, fellow Lions and guests. I want to congratulate Mr. Rex Boswell on the wonderful idea he did down at Lions Island, but it's been so long you forgot to sign in. So, then we go to, oh, who's this one? Pat Palmer. And the next two are going to be the biggest. Because they got here at 11:30. End of report.
Too busy being friendly with everybody and talking.
He left it on the island.
He only made $100,000 last year.
Okay. The blue ticket.
Light blue or
Light blue one is the light blue one is the card.
light one?
Yes.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Blue and there's blue.
If I win.
Here we go. 098425.
Repeat it.
098425. Dick.
Hey.
Dick's the winner.
That's the red ticket, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the blue ticket. The other blue ticket is the red ticket.
Okay. Here we go with the dark blue ticket. 7153077.
Okay.
Darlene.
Relay.
Relay. Darlene. And Jane, do you have any? Dang it. Okay, anybody else have any important announcements? I guess not. Bob, you have any announcements back there to make? Okay. Greg, Pat? Nope. We mentioned that.
Put tables away.
All right.